It doesn't have enough mercury pull to get all of the air bubbles that are around the sides. Again, similar to that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this back to vent. Okay. We can plug our tube back in to the bottom, and I can notice this. This is just a quick disconnect. You push down at the bottom to pull it out, and just push it right back in to push it in. There's one more thing to talk about here, and that's this valve here, which is an open and close valve. What this does, it allows us to be able to read the inside glass burette, which is the actual measurement in millimeters of water volume that's moving through. Now, because this system has an electronic volume change transducer, we don't really need to use it to measure the amount of water flow in and out of the sample. But what I like to do when I test is keep these down once I begin, both of them, and see how the water is, and you can compare the readings from here to the readings on the computer on the data acquisition screen to verify that you have accuracy. Okay. Also, what it does is if you reuse membranes of your triaxial sample, you can see if you have holes, because when you supply pressure, when you can monitor the amount of water coming in or out of the sample, and you'll know if water's going in when it shouldn't be. You may have a hole or a leak in your system inside your cell. Okay. So this just opens or closes the outside water from the inside of that glass tube. And the inside is how you read accurately the amount of water going in and out. Okay? And I'll demonstrate that later. Okay? So now, let's go ahead and continue on with supplying pressure through this line. Okay? Say we want to have 9.5 psi come out of this line. So once again, push that down, because that's what reads here on the pressure meter. Pull this valve or this switch up. Now again, top to bottom, we want this our back pressure burette. We want to put a 9.5 psi pressure. There you go, 9.5. We're at vent. We want to change this to pressure, which is the valve is up. If you notice the water come down, and if I shut that off, if you notice, the water does not equalize at the bottom with the outside and the inside. So now, if I turn it back on, it will equalize, and if I turn it off, it won't. And then that difference is what's read on the meter, or is what's read on the burette in milliliters, okay? Or cc's. All right. So now we have 9.5 psi going to the top of this, out of this tube. We can verify this, turn this one back on. We have 10 psi going top of this water column out to this tube. Individualized, different pressures going out to the cell at different locations. Okay? And you can do this with the third one too, but for the way we have it set up, we don't need the third one for right now. But the third one is used for permeability testing, flexible wall permeability, where you have a cell pressure or confining pressure with this burette, then you have a top and a bottom input to the sample. And you measure the amount of coming in and the amount going out over time, and you can perform your flexible wall permeability testing. Okay? But for triaxial testing for today, we won't use this the way I have it set up, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. So this one is a free one. And can be used if one of these is damaged or is in repair or being cleaned. You can always switch over to the other one. Okay? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the pressure from this. You can do it one of two ways. You can reduce the pressure on the regulator and then move it over to vent, or you can simply just turn it to vent. It'll remove the pressure through the top, and then I'll reduce the pressure on the regulator. Pull that down. Okay. And we can also take the pressure off of the de-airing tank by going to vent as well. Okay. Now, the last thing to talk about here is these three here, which are the auxiliary units for the system. So, and we will use these here in a little bit. This is just tap water coming in. You can use water if you need to fill something else up. This is vacuum, which we're going to use here in a minute. It's an auxiliary vacuum supply. And this is air if you want to take, and this is 10 psi, the same that's going into there. If you want to take and blow something off, or you need air for another purpose, you have an auxiliary 10 psi of air pressure right here that you can use. And we will use these two. I don't use air, but we can use these two for another purpose here in just a minute.